People in Oregon, USA, still whisper one warning to this day. If you ever see an old woman holding a lantern on a lonely forest road after midnight, never look at her. But Daniel didn't just look at her, he followed her, and that became the biggest mistake of his life. Year 1998, a small town in Oregon called Black Hollow. 26-year-old Daniel had been unemployed for months. Rent, bank debt, and constant fights had destroyed his life. Even his wife Emily had started losing patience with him. One freezing winter night, Daniel was driving his old pickup truck toward another town in search of work. Thick fog covered the road, and dense forests surrounded both sides of the highway. Suddenly, his truck stopped working. Daniel tried starting the engine again and again, but nothing happened. That's when he noticed an old woman standing beside the road. White clothes, a lantern in her hand, and her face hidden behind a veil. "Looking for work?" the old woman asked in a slow voice. Daniel stayed silent for a moment before replying, "Yeah, I really need it." The woman turned toward the forest. "Then follow me." After walking for several minutes through the trees, Daniel saw an old wooden house hidden deep inside the forest. Small mirrors were hanging all around the house, and strange dolls with red eyes were placed inside. The place felt deeply unsettling, but the old woman promised him good money. Then she gave him one warning that made Daniel uncomfortable. Never go upstairs, and if you hear someone crying at night, do not open your door. The next morning, Daniel started working. The old woman told him to dig an old well behind the house. The work was exhausting, but she paid him more money than he expected. Slowly, Daniel began noticing strange things inside the house. Every night, he heard someone crying upstairs. Sometimes, he heard dragging sounds across the wooden floor, and sometimes it felt like someone was standing right outside his room. One night, Daniel suddenly woke up. "Daniel, open the door." The voice sounded exactly like Emily. Daniel froze in fear. Then he saw a shadow moving beneath the door, but it was moving backwards. His entire body started shaking. The next morning, Daniel asked the old woman, "Who lives upstairs?" The old woman's face instantly changed. Her eyes turned blood red. "I told you not to ask questions." That night, Daniel couldn't control his curiosity anymore. He quietly walked upstairs and opened the forbidden room. The moment he entered, his breathing stopped. Hundreds of photographs were hanging on the walls. Every person in those pictures had a broken neck. In the center of the room was a wooden chair, and on that chair was a new photograph. It was a picture of Emily. Underneath it, written in blood, were the words, "Next." Daniel ran downstairs in panic, but the entire house had changed. Every mirror now showed the old woman instead of his reflection. Suddenly, heavy footsteps echoed from upstairs. Thud, thud, thud. Daniel slowly turned around. The old woman was standing on the staircase, but now her real face was visible. Half-burned skin, pitch-black eyes, and a mouth torn unnaturally wide. "You opened the door?" she growled. Suddenly, every doll inside the house began shaking at the same time. Daniel ran into the forest and somehow made it back to his truck. He drove back home as fast as he could, but the real horror was waiting for him there. The moment he entered the house, his blood ran cold. Emily was hanging from the ceiling. Her body was twisted horribly, and written on the wall in blood were the words, "Your turn now." That night, Daniel sat alone inside the house, trembling in fear. Then someone knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Daniel looked outside through the window. Standing in the thick fog was the same old woman, holding her lantern and smiling at him. Friends, some doors are meant to stay closed forever, because not every mystery is meant to be uncovered, and not everyone who offers help is human. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell.